Welcome to the FrienDish podcast. Oh, this headphone's weird. So it's just gonna be me today. I know it's been just me and Bree, but now it's just gonna be me. Bree's had diarrhea. She tried to make. Well, we had a thing where we were gonna make our own dish and like make something that we were excited about, but it didn't work out for Bree. So it's just me, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. It's just gonna be me on the casting couch. And welcome to the FrienDish podcast. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and any other social media, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you follow podcasts. That work?
Okay, I guess we were lying, guys. I want to sing a song for you guys. Just let me just cradle this mic. In a little while from now, when I'm not feeling any I can't do it. I can't sing any kind of alone time song because we're not really alone here. But yeah, this episode is... I don't have my piano. I don't have my studio. You know, I need like...
No, try again.
No. I'm not. Okay, I'm actually not a singer.
Here you go. I'll do you one better.
Yeah, try again.
Oh, yeah. Guess what? We're not really alone, guys. We have friends. And a dog, at least. So, yeah. Hey, so, like, we know that episodes are really confusing that we've titled, like, our pilot was 0 and stuff, but let's call this episode 4. I'm going to go back and edit them and make sure that people understand that this is episode 4.
Our pilot.
We don't need an episode 0.
Yeah, it just became an episode.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, can you hear me? Test.
I can hear you just fine.
Mic check.
Mic drop.
My cord is a little short. Oh, well. Oh, hey, guess what, guys? We have a live audience today.
Oh, shit.
Besides YouTube, we have, like, a literal live audience. Why don't you give us a round of applause? Be really loud, though. Yeah!
People are going to think we made it up.
No, it's not sound effects. They're real people. And a dog. Oh, no, I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Pull the cord. And then we give it back. Don't.
No? We've been watching too many Westerns. Sorry. We've all been buzzed.
Yeah, I've had a lot of mimosas today, so welcome to Caitlin, the Mimosa Train.
If you aren't buzzed while watching this show, we suggest you catch up. I'm two glasses of wine and a whiskey down.
I'm almost done with my whiskey, and I'm going to need more.
All right. So... I also wanted to clarify right out the gate. I had some friends message me about the last episode we did about ex-best friends, and they wanted to know where I got the ideas for the nicknames. And I just want to let everybody know that they weren't malicious nicknames. They were actually really fitting or just random nicknames. Like Voldemort, I just want to say that girl really loves Harry Potter. So that was a compliment. And Sweaty Carrot Fingers.
Ew, I hate that
when
name.
When he messaged me and he was like, "Why did you call me Sweaty Carrot Fingers?" And I'm like, "Dude, look at your hands. Look at your hands and then think to yourself, why I called you Sweaty Carrot Fingers? You have drummer's fingers, you have stubby fingers, and you're sweaty, dude. And you're kind of orange."
Bummer.
But he thought it was funny, so... Joke's on him. I'm just kidding.
Whoops.
Sorry, Sweaty Carrot Fingers.
Well, no one messaged me about their name because it was too fitting.
Yeah. And then the other nickname was totally random. So.
Come here,
because I couldn't think of a good one. Also, she did do a lot of jazz hands, so that would make sense for a tap dancer. Anyways.
Okay. So.
Moving on.
What are we going to jump in first? Are we going to do a little...
Let me check our schedule.
This is a visual.
I explained the last episode. I tried to sing and it didn't work out.
I think you could have, but you got scared. You shouldn't. Yeah. Do you want to try again? Do you want to try just one more time?
I definitely don't want to try again.
Okay.
I don't want to scare away our listeners. Okay. Let's talk about our week a little bit. Like, what was your favorite thing that you made this week?
My favorite thing?
Or your meal. Not thing. Something you ate.
Hopefully. Okay. So I did class this week, and my favorite thing was pho. Like, I love pho.
Oh, my God.
You into pho? You into pho?
Yes.
It's so fun.
Fun. I was just talking to my physical therapist about that this week and how we went to a place in Portland called Pho King.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been there?
No, but there was a place in Seattle that was like, oh, what is it called? No, it was like,
What the fuck?
what the fuck? Yeah, and we were like, what do you want? What the fuck do you want? Like, we would just go back and forth. It was just like a really weird bit that me and my roommate did. But I think this week, I actually didn't cook for myself outside of, like, class at all.
So you just ate nothing when you got home. I feel like that's the thing that cooks do, though. They, like, make
or we
garbage
make
food
really
for
garbage
themselves.
food,
Yeah.
which is, like, there's a whole cookbook called Munchies about it. But it was just garbage food. But my actual favorite thing that I ate and I cooked was pho.
Yeah. I think I actually posted my favorite thing on Instagram this week, which is that shrimp
It
salad.
was, yeah. But okay, I gotta call you out. Like, what are you doing putting pickles on that?
I love pickles.
You're just putting pickles with that
I
shrimp
love
on the
pickles.
lettuce? It's good? Is it good?
It was good, yeah. I mean, the shrimp was good. I don't know, like
shrimp was good.
I
lettuce
end up
was
like
good, sauce was good.
So I toss the
pickles.
salad.
She tosses salad.
I toss it, and then I separate it when I eat.
Just email us.
So I'll eat all the pickles,
FrienDish.com
and then I'll eat all the
at
lettuce,
Gmail.
and then I'll eat all of the ranch, and then I'll eat the. It's weird. I just separate it out.
And you like those pickles with the shrimps?
It's fine, yeah. Pickles. You can't go wrong with pickles.
I mean, I love pickles, but I don't think I love them with shrimps.
You know what? I have a very underdeveloped palate, which
Okay.
is why you're the head chef of this show.
Yeah. Let's talk about how.
And I can't have tomatoes. I was gonna have tomatoes, but I have had to not eat because I've had such bad and like I have, what's it called? Acid reflux.
Farts?
No, I wish it was just farts. Like, it's actually just like I can't eat tomatoes without throwing up now. It sucks. It's that bad. And I just
Any
started
tomatoes,
liking
like,
tomatoes.
including cooked tomatoes?
As far as I know, it's just like tomatoes on salad.
So, like, more raw.
Yeah.
Like, could you have tomato sauce?
Probably.
Okay.
I eat a lot of ketchup.
I mean, yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm dying. Probably.
Well, yeah. They hurt your gut.
Yeah, I actually haven't had any with my salads since I figured out that that's kind of what it was. And I haven't had any bad acid reflux since, so that's good.
That's good. It does make sense. Like,
Also,
raw tomatoes.
I messaged you that nasty-ass picture of that chicken with the holes in it.
Oh, yes. That was fucking gross.
Dude.
I showed it to my coworker. What the fuck? Did you
I
eat
know.
it? Did you
I
eat
did
it?
eat it.
So, let's go back. So, Bree sent me this text and was like, is this chicken that's just like with holes in it for a brine, or is it just gross?
Was there like maggots in it at some
Because
point?
it was
like,
a chicken breast, but there was all these holes in it, like someone stuck a bunch of forks in it.
yeah. And I
But-
did some research on it because
Okay,
I was like,
what'd you find?
I wanted to know because I've had chicken breast with that before from the same bag. Like, not this bag particularly, but I've seen it before, and I've been like looking the other way because I'm like, I'm still gonna eat this chicken. It looks fine. So it could be brine holes, like where they're just
Brine holes.
like they stick holes in it and then soak it in salt or whatever, and then it could be that they're injecting it with flavor, which is kind of nasty to think about. Or it's maggots. So
Well, I think it's a salt thing. I think
it was a salt
injecting
thing.
it, but it's gross because I've never purchased chicken that has like visual, like I can be like, there are holes in this chicken.
it's
But
worse.
I don't.
It's worse when you don't see the holes when it's frozen, and then you thaw it and you see the holes and you're like, what the fuck?
I don't eat a lot of chicken though. Chicken freaks me out.
I love chicken.
I've
so
watched
much.
a lot of documentaries on chicken.
I don't like to think about that. No, this isn't a PETA show. This
I
isn't a PETA show.
I'm not trying to be a PETA show, but the chicken is just, it's rough. I'm scared of it.
My bad. My producer Derek is telling me I need to pull back when I
Producer,
scream.
AKA
Because I'm peeking.
lover.
I'm peeking. Is this better if I scream from over here?
Yeah, actually it is. I just can't keep up with you guys when you get loud and quiet. I
You
don't
need to
wanna
pay more
adjust.
attention. Just
Well,
kidding.
I'm not a Jedi Knight. I don't know when you're gonna.
Sorry,
start
I love
this.
you. Please don't be mad at me.
I'm never mad.
Hey, Kevin. One of
Hi.
my friends, Kevin, is watching. I'm just saying.
Kevin who?
Kevin Hurst. Kevin
Oh,
Hurst.
do we just name drop? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Kevin Hurst. He's watching. Hey, boy.
You know, everybody just watches for you because you're the hot one, right? You know that, right?
Well, it's because I've got that low cut shirt on.
Fuck, I forgot mine.
It's Icicle Brewing /
I just gotta stretch this collar out on my t-shirt. Just let
Yeah,
me
we
stretch
really
it out.
gotta wear lower cut shirts. I think
Yeah.
that we get a better viewer.
For YouTube, for
Ship.
sure. I think that the people on Spotify can just visualize how hot we are,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like Spotify is like,
Assume.
damn, those girls.
Just by the sound of their voice and the slurps that they're making.
Should we
from
go
their
back and play
drinks.
that little bit of that game that we played before?
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
out of
There's
alcohol,
we
so I
did
can't talk
we
about
did
slurping.
have listener mail this week,
We
but
do. Oh, I want to know.
we can save it
no,
for the end.
No. Okay.
Do you wanna
Okay,
do the game or do you wanna the listener mail?
It's up to you. I was really excited. I didn't know we had listener mail.
Yeah. Well, let's do listener mail just
Okay.
because it's kind of about the last episode we did, which was about ex-best friends. Let me grab my phone. I
I'm
should
out
have
of
had this
alcohol.
up, man.
So good for Caitlin.
So,
It's gone. Everyone is gone. There's nowhere.
we did have somebody
I can't read
message us, and they're using a nickname for themselves. They want to stay anonymous. But I'll just read the email out loud, and I think they're just trying to tell us a story. They're not asking for advice per se, but they wanted to tell us their ex-best friend story, which we're gonna tell. Okay. Hello, Bree and Caitlin. Call me Pink Mink.
that. Okay. Hey, Pink Mink. What up?
Friendship is hard, and although I have had very few friends in life, so the fallouts always ended up as extreme, I have two stories to tell. The one I'm just sorry, bear with me, I'm really bad at reading.
Do you want me to read?
Yeah, you read.
Okay.
Start over.
Okay. Hello, Bree and Caitlin. Call me Pink Mink. Friendship is hard, and although I've had... I gotta get over here. Okay. Although I've had very few friends in life, so the fallouts always end up as extremes, I've had two stories to tell. Oh, this is long. Okay. The first... The first one will be about my friend, Blue Dog. She was my friend since 3rd grade. She came to school. I gotta take these headphones off.
That's okay.
When I had no other friends in class, I thought she looked super cool. So for some reason, I built up the courage to ask her to hang out with me.
That's a 3rd grader thing, guys.
What did you? I can't remember what I was doing in 3rd grade. Okay.
I wasn't asking people to hang out.
Yeah, no.
I
okay.
was playing in the dirt.
I asked her to hang out with me during recess. She was the first person I could really say was my best friend. The following year, she moved to another school, but she still kept in contact. How did you keep in contact? I'm sorry.
AOL.
Okay, you're right. we would hang out a couple times a year, and because of
Welcome.
her, I actually had friends. Anyways, after we graduated, we had more time to hang out with each other in groups. Her cousin, Lemonade, so Beyonce.
Yeah.
Her cousin was Beyonce. Hung out a lot with us, and he and I started seeing each other. I was too shy to tell her. Period. And he told me that I shouldn't tell any of our friends. I should have.
Sounds like a bad relationship with
I can't read
Beyonce.
this. Yeah, this is rough. I found out later it was because everyone called me crazy or weird. There came a point where Lemonade and I just keep thinking of Kim Kardashian and Beyonce like having a little spat with each other. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Pink Mink understands, I'm sure.
Okay. Lemonade and I weren't doing so hot because I wanted more and he just wanted me as a toy. And Blue Dog and her boyfriend weren't either.
Are you guys still in 3rd grade and having boyfriends?
Yeah, maybe.
No, she said like in high school or something.
Okay,
Yeah,
high
they're
school.
after high school. This is after high school.
My bad. Sorry,
Yeah.
Pink Mink.
There came a point where Lemonade and I weren't doing so hot because I wanted more and he just wanted to be a toy. And Blue Dog and her boyfriend weren't either. During this time, Lemonade talked a lot of shit about his cousin, Blue Dog, and how terrible she was and how much... I thought Blue Dog was a boy.
Blue Dog's her friend from elementary school. Pink Mink's friend is Blue Dog, and the
Okay.
one she's dating is Beyonce/Lemonade,
Okay.
but it's a boy.
And how terrible she was and how terrible she disliked her. He also told me that I shouldn't be friends with her either because apparently She also talked bad about me. I really didn't know how to feel, so I started to distance myself from her. A couple weeks later, she and I both ditched by the guys. I'm having a really like this.
It's all right. There was no spaces in the
Yeah,
paragraphs.
Yeah. This is hard to read. You're right. She was consoling me about the situation, and I expressed that I wasn't in the emotional state to help her out because I was in a similar spot. And then I told her that I wasn't seeing her cousin behind her back. So she wasn't seeing her cousin behind her back, but she thought she was. Okay. That's what
Okay, so far Blue Dog and this pink mink girl were best friends, and then they started seeing two dudes, and one of them happened to be Blue Dog's cousin.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Don't tell Pink Mink, or
Yeah,
don't tell Blue Dog that I'm dating you because she talks shit about you." And okay.
So she got upset at me because I lied to her and hid it from her for months. At that point, I wasn't sure I felt about her. I wasn't sure how I felt about her because I heard all of the smack talk about lemonade. So once I took note that she was upset at me, I deleted her from Facebook. And after that point, we stopped being friends. Okay. So you stopped being friends after, okay. Years later, I realized that she was upset at me because I didn't I can't. I'm just so confused. I'm sorry.
Too many mimosas. I'm just kidding.
I'm just can't follow this.
Okay, so and after that point we stopped being friends. Years later, I realized that she was only upset at me because I didn't tell her sooner, but I shut her down too fast. It took 6 years for me to apologize to her. Now we are friends on Facebook, but that's about it. I really miss her friendship, but I don't know how to be her friend anymore, and even if we can be, I really miss Blue Dog, though. Through that, I realized that I shouldn't ever let a boy get between a friendship. If Blue Dog and I were to make up sooner, we might have been better friends and to this day, and we could still be friends. But I will never know for sure. The other story I have is about...
Let's just read one
Oh,
story.
Lordy.
Let's just read one story.
Yeah, we're going to say, hey, Pink Mink, we're going to save the other story for next week, I think. Or maybe at the end of the episode if we run out of shit to talk about. But, yeah. Thank you for emailing us, though. Like, this was really...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, I think that it was a really good story overall. It's definitely a thing that I think happens to a lot of girls, especially in high school, where a dude comes between them or like shit talking each other gets the best of each other. And I don't think that...
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. I think that yeah, I can't even get back my train of thought. So moving on.
That was rough. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's not like you farted or anything. Do you want to play the game now?
Yeah.
You weren't asking for advice, Pink Mink, but thank you for sharing. If you wanted advice, maybe hit me up. Yo. So we're going to play the games that we played last week because they were really fun. And once again, we're playing this game called Hot Seat. And you can buy it on Amazon. Let me grab it with my feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it with your feet, girl.
Oh, the box isn't actually over here, so you can't see it because the lid is over there, but we're playing Hot Seat from Amazon. You good?
I'll put it up.
All right. We got it up on our YouTube screen, but for those of you on Spotify or iTunes, Hot Seat is what we're playing right now. And we got 2 questions out of that deck of cards. Go right ahead.
Is it me first?
Yeah.
Okay. When I go home at night, what's the first thing I'm going to do?
Probably change into your PJs, right? That's what I would do.
That's your first thing?
Yeah. Clothes off. PJs on. I mean, like, when I get home from work, the first thing I want to do, assuming that my dog didn't pee or, I don't know, like, She's pretty good, actually. I'm not maligning my dog here. She's actually really good at being potty trained. Yeah, I mean, take my clothes off, get the sawdust out of my hair, go take a shower, get into PJs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do, like, I feed my cats, I feed my dogs, then I change my clothes. I'm like, I gotta feed them first.
You starving your animals?
No, I feed them in the morning and at night.
Oh, so you do, like, the timed feedings. We just leave the food down all the time.
Oh, I can't do free feeding. Like,
Yeah.
I feed them, so I feed them at night because they're crazy. And
Do they eat it right?
Yeah,
all
they
at
will
once?
destroy it. Like,
Oh.
if I free fed them, they would be too big.
I'm really lucky that Sable doesn't do that. My mom's dog, he'll eat everything in the bowl as soon as you put it down.
Yeah, no. So, okay, I'll ask you the next one. What is something that I thought I'd never do, then I tried it, and I loved it?
Whoa. Whoa. One more time. Let's read that. What is something that I thought I'd never do,
But
then
you
I
tried
tried it, and now I love it?
Yeah, what do you love? Is it weird, like, sex things? Like, butt
I mean,
stuff?
it could be sex things.
Is it butt stuff?
Let's hear it.
Butt stuff.
Tell us about your butt stuff.
This is a question about you first, I thought.
Oh, I thought I was asking you.
It's both of us. We both have to answer. But you answer for yourself, because I have no way to
What is
speculate.
something that I thought I'd never do, but I tried it, I loved it? I don't know any of I don't.
It could be a food. It could be a sex. It could be...
I don't have an answer. I thought I was just asking you.
Nope.
It'd be
It's a 2 questions. We answer it.
Two
both.
questions.
Whoever answers first gets the next drink first.
Yes. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic with my head. But I lost a card.
Did you?
It's there. I found
Did you
it.
find it?
I did.
Okay. I literally I do not no. I don't do anything by myself.
You know, I haven't tried it yet, but I think that I'm gonna like it. And it was something that I never ever loved as a kid. In fact, I used to be kind of like PETA's wet dream as a child, because I used to hate killing animals and I used to hate like eating meat and any of that kind of stuff. But I would love to try fishing in the summer and learn how to actually
Oh yeah.
prepare a fish. So I think I'm gonna love it. Could hate it, but it's still up in the air. Because I haven't done it yet.
You might love it. You might hate it.
Because actually do like the taste of fish now. And I used to hate all that. I used to
Any
hate
fish?
it. Yeah.
Is there a certain fish you like?
I like trout and cod and halibut. I don't particularly like salmon unless it's smoked. But
Okay.
I couldn't eat like a bunch of salmon.
Yeah.
It's more like an hors d'oeuvre thing for me. But
That's smoked salmon. It's all fancy.
yeah, like
Yeah.
on a cracker with
Yeah.
some cheese.
Yeah.
That'd be good. But anyways, what about you?
I don't know. I don't know.
You haven't tried some weird, crazy sex thing lately?
So sad.
That you're willing
and
to
alone. I'm
to
just
share?
sad and alone.
I mean, I don't want to drag your whole...
I feel like if I were to read this thing, I would have to come up with a sex thing. Like,
I
What
agree.
about
I
something
agree.
that like Russ did with his friends that like you probably never would have done without him?
you want me to be
Ooh.
real about everything? I'll tell
Yeah.
everyone. It's weird because Hope and Luke was in the
sorry.
room. Russ and I didn't do this, but I like to be choked a little bit.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah, and I want to.
You know what?
If that's what we're talking about, something I never thought I would do, I want it real rough,
You know...
and I want someone to
show.
choke.
Been choked
Couple.
Yeah,
A
okay.
couple times. A couple
or
times.
same person.
Couple times.
You know
by
what?
Different people.
I do have to say, like, those of you who haven't... If you're a girl or a guy and you haven't been choked just a teensy bit, like,
Just a little bit.
Even if you're scared of it and you just want like a hand around your throat, just a little tiny bit. You don't have
kind
to
of
apply
exhilarating,
pressure. It's just
can't
like
lie.
a little. It's like a little kinky thing. And if you're not into like kinks yet, like it's a way to open some gates. It's a gateway drug to kinky sex.
Gateway
a hand
drug.
around your neck.
Yeah.
What is defined kinky sex if choking isn't kinky?
Well, to some people that can be like the thing, like that's kinky. And then they find out what pegging is and they're like, "Oh, I'm vanilla."
I don't know.
You don't know what you don't watch Broad City? Do you not watch Broad City?
I do, but apparently I don't know what pegging is.
There's a whole like 2 episodes about pegging where it's a girl the girl puts a penis on,
Or
a strap on, and boings the guy.
yeah. Okay.
And the guy likes it.
Yeah.
The guy
He
likes
is
it. He
into
asks
it.
for it if there's consent.
Okay, ask me your questions. We're at the start of the game.
Sorry.
You don't want to keep talking about pegging?
Well, let's talk
I could
about
talk about pegging for an entire episode, but I'm going to spare my listeners because I feel like I'd bore them. And they could just go listen to Dan Savage.
Yeah.
You know, he's got all that down. All right, so this next game we're going to play is, we played it last week. It's called $1 Million But, and it's by Rooster Teeth, and Funhouse plays it and stuff, and it's a really fun game. We're not playing it by the rules. We're actually just, like, pulling cards out and using it for our own thing, but there's no points. All right. $1 Million But... One sec. I think I have these in the right order that I wanted. Okay, yeah. $1 Million But every time you fart, you become a little bit more like a raccoon. Would you take $1 million for that? Like, slowly transform. I mean, not slowly. I'm assuming you fart more than once in a day. So you're, like, by the end of a week, you might be a raccoon.
Oh,
For $1 million? I don't think a raccoon has...
It's hard because, like, a raccoon can't use $1 million.
Yeah, no.
So...
what if you were more like a furry? Like, you just became a furry.
No, can't be a furry.
Yeah,
I cannot. I'm not into it. I'm not.
Not into that. Okay. Yeah, me neither, actually.
No.
Sorry, furries out there, but
Yeah.
we're not into that.
You do you, but...
For $1 million, I'm sure some furries out there
But
would.
other than that, like, maybe... I don't know.
If you could take the fursuit off at the end of the day
Yeah.
and spend your $1 million. I still wouldn't do it, to be honest. It's not worth it to me to be a furry.
On another fursuit.
Yeah.
Sorry. $1 million, but whenever you're hungry, someone's turd will appear in a random place in your home. Whenever you're hungry,
Oh,
somebody's
shit.
turd will just appear right somewhere, probably inconvenient in your home.
Like just, like, on the ground?
On the ground, in your bed, in your oven, on your TV.
I guess
Maybe every once in a while in your toilet.
So to say the $1 million aren't worth it. Like, a turd just, like,
To just have a
around-
turd-covered house.
Yeah, just, like, in my home. Like,
know-
I'm hungry 98% of my life. Like, that means turds will be everywhere.
Right?
Everywhere would there be a turd.
You know what? I'm probably going to have to say, like, I'll take it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a home. I'm going to put a maid in it. And I'm going to pay her hourly to clean up turds.
Yeah, just, like, you pick up those turds, bitch.
Or I could just move into a hotel and let my house fill with shit. And then burn it down and collect the insurance.
Okay.
My house caught on fire. It combusted because it was too full of shit. Literal shit. So, yeah. I think I worked it out. I'm going to take that $1 million, man.
Man, okay.
I'm
You
going
got
to
it.
be a nomad and
Too
just
scared.
live anywhere else other than
Too
my home.
scared of the turds.
Too scared of the turds. You know what? It would suck, especially if it was like liquid diarrhea just raining down on you.
Oh.
Is
Sounds
that your
awful.
kink? What?
Whoa.
We went there. Okay, well, let's, like, I guess, talk about what nobody wants to talk about, which is being alone. Because that's important, guys. It's important to be alone sometimes. And this is a friendship podcast, but I think that, especially, when we talked about the ex-best friends, I think that we decided to do this episode next because it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Like, because I think after you break up with a friend or a friend dumps you, you do have a lot of alone time, whether you like it or not. So, yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone who's just been broken up with or been dumped by a friend or a lover or anything. So, I got 3 points here that we should talk about.
Okay.
How to be comfortable with being alone, why it's important, and let's give our listeners some ideas of what they can do to kind of make being alone not so fucking awful.
Okay.
So, how are you comfortable with being alone?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay.
Well, look you in the eye while I tell you this really sad story.
Okay.
Because I feel nervous and awkward. So I love being alone. Like
Most introverts do.
yeah, like when I'm planned, it's really great. But I have 3 jobs, which we've talked about. Because and really ultimately what it comes down to, the reason I have those jobs are because I'm scared of not having anything to do. So if like there's a class that's like, oh, we're not gonna have it tonight because we didn't have enough people sign up or whatever it is, and I have to be alone by myself, it's really awful. Like if it's planned alone time, it's great.
But if it's sprung on you, you don't like it?
Nope. I do not know how to handle it. Like I go home.
So you have no backup plans for being alone?
Nope. And so I go home and I'm sitting there and I was like, oh, I'll text my friends. And most people, when it's like that, like short of a notice where it's like, hey, do you want to hang out in 2 minutes? Like in a very small amount of time, no one knows what to do.
And it's hard when you're our age too to find somebody who will come and hang out with you at the drop of a dime like that.
Isn't like married or in a relationship or has kids, which all those things
or
are
just
so
got off
great.
work, you know.
Yeah, all those things are fine. Like I'm not even saying that in a negative way, but I don't know how to handle it. So then my response is like, well, it's 3:00, so I guess I'll go to bed.
3 a.m. or 3 p.m.?
3 p.m. Like I just don't know what to do.
I'm glad that we have the same fallback.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I'm alone and, like, so I'll get off work and Derek gets off work 2 or 3 hours after I do. So I have 3 hours of alone time usually. And I usually do just take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a 3-hour nap till
Yeah.
he gets home because I'm fucking tired anyways. I've been up since 3 a.m. Like, nap time.
Yeah.
And then that actually gives me a little tiny bit more energy to hang out with him when he gets home. Because I'll make dinner with him and we'll watch a show and stay up till 9, which is late for me on a weekday. 9 p.m.
Oh, I'm not staying up. I'm just going to bed till the next morning.
I would love to do. That's what I did when I was single.
Oh.
That's what I did when I was single.
I don't feel good about that. Like, I don't think that's a good... And I feel like in the sense of, like, having
it's not good
friends,
for you because you have a 9 to 5 job. That's like a
but
regular...
it's also not good in, like, having a friendship. Like, I reach out to my friends, like, 2 or 3 friends, and I'm like, hey, can you hang out? Can you hang out? Can you hang out? And no one can. So then my immediate response, which is super, super bad, is like, well, no one can hang out with me. I guess I can't do anything, so I'm going to go to sleep. Like, that's a really unhealthy way to approach it.
Unless you're exhausted.
But I'm not.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I had expected to hang out with people, but because, like, either my job changed or the people I was hanging out with changed, my response was just going to bed, which is, I personally don't feel like it's, like, a healthy response. Like, I have another, like, 6 hours to hang out.
You're so mean.
I go to sleep. No, I think this music is fitting because it is so true. Like, I shouldn't be going to bed. That's a very, like, I shouldn't be like, oh, I'm depressed, so let me feed on that depression. That's really unhealthy.
I mean, sometimes you just want to fucking, like, alt-delete your day.
Yes.
And just, like, control-alt-delete, start your day over.
And I do agree with that, but maybe, like, so that's why I have, like, scheduled alone time. It's like a scheduled alone time. I'm like, oh, I can go to bed early or I can focus on these things. But when it's unscheduled is the times that I'm like, don't know how to handle this. And I think that's really unhealthy for me and for my friendships because I'm like leaning on my friends to hang out with me, and when they can't, then I'm really sad and then I don't do anything.
So I guess that brings up like a really good point. Like, there's 2 types of alone. There's the type where you can't help but the fact that you're alone, or there's the making fucking time to be alone because you need alone time. Everybody needs alone time. But then when it's forced on you and you don't have something to do, that's like a good testament to like what you know, you as a person, you should have things that are important to you to do when you're alone, even if it's forced on you.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, I don't, but that's the thing with me is, like, I don't know what to do in those situations. Like, I should be able to handle
Well, we're going to
them.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Some
so
things.
tell me what I should do.
I mean, my first suggestion to everybody would have been sleep because I like to sleep. That's like it's a hobby for me. I don't know, like at this point, because I don't feel like I get enough sleep sometimes, so it feels like a hobby. But I have like a whole bunch of things that are down that, I mean, they actually don't make sense if it's forced on you. But I mean, if you have hobbies, I think that you should. It's going to be tough when alone time is forced on you, and say you only have like a 3-hour span of time. That's hard to motivate yourself to do your hobby. So like drawing or, I mean, gaming is easy to just hop on. If you like video games, like hop on your video game and play it for 3 hours and then go to bed. If like it's the end of the day and you have no one to hang out with. And you have a dog, you could take your dog for a walk. I feel bad. I should walk my dog more. Like, whoops.
Oh, I agree with all these things. Like, so like I said, when I have scheduled alone time, I'm like, oh, I'm going to work on art during this time. I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to take my dog on a walk. Like, those are all things that I really love and I do well with, but and ultimately, like, I'm really scared of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a real fear. I've watched my mom be alone when she got really sick. So, when I'm alone in unplanned time, I don't know how to handle it.
You should make a list and look at it as things like easy things for you to do when that time comes up. So, like the drawing, the art, the video games, the reading, maybe taking your dog on a walk. Like, make a short, precise list of things that you can do. So when that time, is forced on you that you have to like face being alone, you could be like, that one. I'm gonna pick that one for today. I don't know. I mean, that's what I would do. Yeah. Unless like I had a bad day, I'm gonna be like, sleep. It's sleep time. It's just gonna reset. Like,
just recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet. Like, I feel like I have a list of dozens of things that I do by myself and I love, but when it's unplanned, I don't know how to handle it. But that's what this podcast is about. Like, we'll figure it out.
The first question was how to be comfortable with being alone. So, if you're not to that point where you're comfortable being alone when it's forced on you, I don't know, get a fucking therapist. It's not our job. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the easiest thing to do is sleep. The second easiest thing to do is sleep. Get a therapist. I don't know.
Just sleep and get a therapist.
You get high. I mean, smoke some weed. Get drunk. That's what I do.
Well, Caitlin, what do you want to accomplish when you're alone?
Yeah, finding things that you want to accomplish is a good idea.
That is true. Like, things that I want to do and feel good about. That's why, like, when I have days that I'm alone, I'm like, oh, I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to vacuum my carpet. Like, I'm going to dust. I'm going to do all these things. Versus when I'm alone and didn't plan to be alone, I still want to feel... It can be intimidating. It is intimidating, but I still want to feel accomplished, but I don't know how to, like, go about and, like, motivate myself to do this. Like, I don't want to sleep.
I know.
I don't want to, like...
I always complain about having no free time, but really if I just took away the times when I'm, like, forced to be alone and just decide to nap. Like, if I took away my nap time, I'd probably have more free time.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I don't have a lot of nap time. Like, I don't nap very often.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be very far and few between. And that is even because, like, it wasn't unplanned. It was just like, oh, I can nap.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm after work. I'm like, I'll take a swig of whiskey, lay down, wake up to Derek getting home, make dinner.
So that is one thing. I was like, I don't drink a lot when I'm alone. Like, if I'm alone and, like, no, not in the... If I'm alone and I'm in a really good state of mind, yeah, I'll drink a beer, I'll drink whatever, I'll make myself drinks. But because, and I talked about this with Hope today, is like, because I've been alone and I'm really scared of seeing my mom being alone when she was sick and then being alone when I'm divorced, And then my stepdad stepped in and was like, don't drink when you're just sad. Like, because that's when issues will be, like, present themselves. Like, if you drink when you're with friends and if you drink in a social situation, that's different. But if you drink because you're just sad, that's not okay. So I worked really, really, really hard in the last year and a half. If I'm sad in a situation because, like, work sucked or all these things, like, drinking isn't an option. Like, I don't drink. And even though I want to, and it'd be easier to drink, but I don't do it. Which is why, like, I'm like, well, I could just nap and then I can just sleep my, like, night away. But I want to be able to be okay with being alone. And into the sense that, like, I'm alone, it's like, I see all these, like, Facebook things. It's like, oh, people canceled on me. But that's great because then I just have my night alone. And I feel that way. But then when
You could just watch Friends.
That really is what it is. Like, I want to be able to, like, watch Friends and, like, work on art and do all these things that in the end, I will look back at that night and feel productive. But at this moment in my time, in my life, it's really hard for me. But I really, really, really try not to use alcohol as, like,
as a crutch.
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of that. I, like, when I have a bad day at work, I had a really bad day at work this week, and I came home immediately, took a couple swigs, and just fell asleep. And I was like, wake me up when you get home, Derek. And he did. And then I got up, made salad, ate the salad, and went right back to bed. And then things were better. But that's, like, I guess on the worst of days.
Yeah.
Because I got in a fight with somebody at work. But it's better now.
Yeah.
He apologized. So that was great. I also feel like self-care is, like, really important when you're alone. Like, that's a really good time to care for yourself. Like, I always imagine my best like my ideal alone time is getting in the bathtub, even though I never take baths. Getting in the bathtub and having, like, candles and, like, that ideal, like...
It's, like, so romantic.
Yeah, like, a glass of wine and a bubble bath. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some music.
For me, like, self-care is just, like, that I've been really productive. Like, I'll do, like, a face mask, and I'll, like, vacuum my room while I have that face mask on, and I'll, like, clean up, and... I don't know, just a lot of things that's, like, in the end, I'm like, oh, look how clean my home is.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget to do self-care things, like, basic ones, so at the end of the week, I look like a homeless person, because I've had the same braid in all week, which I know is not good for your hair, but
Probably
I've been
not.
like, I don't care what I look like at work. I don't care.
You should care, though.
No.
Even though you don't love your job, you should still care about yourself as a human.
Well, the thing is when I dress down because I've had issues with men at work. So if I try to make myself look uglier. Like, I wear these baggy-ass pants, and I wear the same bulky coat every day.
Which isn't okay. Like, you need to, like, embrace yourself as a human and as a woman.
I don't
like,
know.
you identify as a woman.
Yeah, but
So-
when some guys, like, make some really, like, nasty comments when you're eating something or...
But does that happen to you at work
Yes.
every day?
No, it used to happen more when I wore normal clothes. But now it doesn't happen
What
anymore.
do you consider normal clothes?
As in form-fitting clothes. So I wear really baggy things to work now. And I'm like, don't talk to me, please.
I feel like you should be able to, like, be who you are. And if you want to wear form-fitting clothes, like, that's okay.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I'll get those baggy-ass clothes caught in a chain and I'll get, like, killed or maimed. And then
It's really sad.
they can't think that I'm hot anymore if I'm missing a hand.
No,
right?
no.
I mean, that's not true.
yeah,
That's not true.
They might
You
not.
can still be hot and have one hand.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think you should be able to.
I don't even want to talk about the things that have been said to me at work or done to me at work. It's all water under the bridge now. Thank you, HR. Moving on. Why is it important? We already kind of went over that. Like, self-care. So there's the two types of being alone. There's being forced on you, and actually making time to be alone, which is really, really important.
Yeah.
If you have a busy life where you have kids and a family and you don't have time to be alone, I think that you need to make time for it because you need to know yourself. And it's better if it's actually like easier to figure out who you are when you've been dumped by friends or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, because that's like your own excuse to sit down, figure out who you are, what you like in people, and the people that you want to surround yourself with. That's like a God-given consent form to like sit down. What are my likes, dislikes about people? What do I like and dislike about myself? What am I going to change?
Yeah.
How do I make things better for myself?
Yeah.
So, and what are some things that you do when you're alone and you have it planned?
Oh, when I'm planned, like I said, I like clean my house. I make sure I really like a clean home. Like, it makes me feel really comfortable when my house is like clean and organized.
Do you have hobbies?
Yeah, and then on top of that, once everything, like, I need it to be clean.
The adult stuff.
To be able to enjoy my hobbies. And then I just draw and paint and create. And all those things are things I want to do, but I need it to be a situation, or I need my space to feel like a situation that I'm like comfortable in. So I need it to be clean and to do those things. But when it's like planned to do, like, have that time by myself, I'm like, cool, now I gotta like work on some art. It's really fun.
I think a really important thing to do when you have the alone time is to make sure that like you're not on your phone or on the internet. That's for people who are trying to make alone time for themselves.
Yeah.
Don't be connected to other people when you're alone, like on your phone, on the computer. Put all that stuff aside. Even if you're gaming, go offline. Try to do some stuff by yourself.
Oh, I agree with that.
I don't really suggest gaming as an alone time thing unless you really want to turn your brain off, but like I have a whole list of things of stuff that I would love to do alone more often, which is like or just hobbies really, which are like camping or hiking, which can be dangerous alone, to be honest. Traveling alone can be dangerous, but also kind of a thing that that you should try to do at least once in your life, to travel alone. Meditating, there's reading, drawing, gardening is a really therapeutic thing that I do alone. Like you're nurturing something.
Yeah.
And it's the same with my aquariums that I have. I have like fish in my axolotl. So it's like, I don't know, fulfilling to take care of those things alone. I like fishing, but I think fishing is something that would actually be fun with other people, because fishing in itself is kind of boring until you catch a fish.
Fishing is one of those things that I feel like is designed.
It's a communal thing?
Yeah, because you go out there and then you just talk to whoever you're with.
Oh, our producer Derek is asking us how we feel about routines.
I feel great about routines.
There's a lot of stability in it.
I am
comfort.
a routine person. Like, I get up in the morning, I do the same thing. The way I get ready every morning is the same. I go to work, it's the same.
I feel like a lot of people do that, but I'm surprised that you say you like routine, because I feel like your jobs in particular are not rooted in routine.
But that is why when I have nights where my classes are canceled, where I struggle.
You flounder?
I struggle really, really hard because it's not in the routine. I grew up, my mom was on a very, her routine was stupid. Like, she watched CMT and ate half a piece of gum and drank a small cup of coffee every day. Like, it was like the little things that didn't mean much to anyone else but to her. And I watch that, and I need to be on a routine. Like, I am very...
I think that there's something safe about routine. I have the epitome of a routine for my job, which is I press the same buttons every 2 minutes. I mean, I can't even describe how much of a routine my job is, where I'm doing monkey's work. I can turn my brain off, push the same buttons over and over and over again 100 times a day. And I have the same schedule every day. And pretty monotonous and awful in a lot of ways. But I can, because of that, I can turn my brain off and listen to podcasts and like do my own thing mentally, think about things. So I guess that's cool. But I think that it's not very, what's the word, enlightening. It's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
It, like, at the end of the day, I feel like I wasted 10 hours of my life because that's how long I spent at work.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though I was listening to podcasts, I definitely feel like I wasted time because I was there and not doing anything for myself.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people feel that when they work at places, most places. Sometimes they don't feel like they learned anything or did anything.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people do get stuck in ruts at work. They're
Yeah.
like,
I'm not saying I didn't learn anything from my job over the last 3 years. Like, I've learned a lot of things that I don't think a lot of women get to learn about, like how to fix a motor or how to fix chains or hydraulics or any of the stupid machine stuff that I'm never ever going to use in my life ever again after this job. But, you know, I'll know how to fix that one machine. So.
Yeah.
But. What else are we going to talk about now? We already went over the listener question. Oh, I wanted to do a shout out.
On what?
'Cause I've been pushing that social media button over and over and over again, trying to get some more listeners and stuff, because we only had one listener mail. But I got on Reddit this week and was on r/podcasts talking to people, and one guy gave me some really, really good feedbacks. His name's Alex, and he has his own podcast, and he's from Canada. And his podcast is called Time for Your Hobby, and it's really good. I listened to about 3 episodes. One about his friend who's a butcher, another one his friend who does, God, what is it called? It's like communal storytelling, I think is what it was called. Where she like passes a story around and everybody tells parts of the story. Yeah, it's a really good podcast. He picks people to come on and talk about their hobbies and why other people should join their hobby. And he was asking me what I would, if I were to come on the show, what I would talk about. And I'd probably, the only thing I know a lot about is aquariums at this point, sadly. Because, I mean, I told him I could talk about the apocalypse for hours and about how to, like, prep for that. But, I mean, he didn't seem too interested in my zombie theories or, yeah.
But he was into aquariums.
Aquariums is a science that exists and is easy enough for people to get a hold of. So, yeah. I'm going to talk about that. But thanks, Alex, for, like, giving me your 2 cents. He really gave us some good feedback on our podcast about the background noise, and I'm always looking for feedback on how we can make the podcast better.
Yeah, because we're new. We're figuring this out.
Yeah, we're new-ish. I listen to more podcasts than I have made them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, we listen to a lot of podcasts, but creating podcasts, very limited.
So I guess for our listeners, we'd like to hear some ideas about how to make alone time better, why it's important to you to have alone time, how you've been able to become comfortable with your alone time and being alone. I feel like that was a hard question for both of us, how to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Other than, like, opting out and just sleeping through it. Like, I feel like a lot of people probably do that, but, you know.
But, oh, it got really quiet.
I was hoping that Derek had a cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's the cricket noise. Oh, yeah. Anyways. What's our time at?
I mean, you could call it, or you could go. You're at an hour.
All right. Well, that was pretty concise.
Yeah.
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 Hey, man, we made it to an hour. That's really good. We didn't ramble on too much. I feel like we both got a little depressed. So, we're just going to wrap it there, I think.
Yeah.
Please hit us up. We're at FrienDish at Gmail, or FrienDishPodcast@gmail.com. And we're at the tspn.fun. That's our website. We're on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and our podcast, you know, just moving along.
Google Play and Stitcher.
That too.
Just moving along.
Thanks, boss. And if you want to see pictures of our tits, you could look up literally any picture of tits on the internet, and they're probably very similar to ours.
Also, can I also add that
Yeah.
very shortly here, the ladies will also be on Basement Boys, our show.
Yeah, we're gonna be
As some
guests on
We're
the
working that out.
Basement Boys show
Yeah, we're gonna have you on.
eventually.
We want to have you on Basement Boys in our last run here. We're rounding out till episode 65, retirement age.
Yeah.
Cool.
It will come back as the Time Spent Poorly podcast. So we want to have you on before
So
we.
check us out
make
on
that
Basement
change.
Boys 2.
Yeah.
Episode
It'll be soon.
something.
Yep.
Cool.
Bye.
Good job, guys.
Time spent poorly. Fun.